Hong Kong Racing Week continues again at Sha Tin on Sunday with another 10 races coming up on the weekend. Slightly earlier start time too. We're taking a race from Japan, but our focus is Hong Kong racing. There's a very special guest who's going to join us on the show very, very shortly. Before we get to him, Paul Lully, Tom Wood here. And Tom, race 10 is a ripper.
Certainly is, Mark. We've got Wunderbar going around, of course, the only horse here in Hong Kong at this point in time to have beaten Ka Ying Rising. He himself was beaten last start by Magic Control down the straight. There's been limited races for him over 1,200 metres, but it's a hot field outside of him and lots of debutants through the day too.
There is indeed. They're everywhere, Paul, those first starters.
There's plenty of them there. And look, that last race as we're talking about, there's an actual jackpot going into it as well. That's a double trio jackpot in races 9 and 10. So 2 million going into that. So that should get over around the 10 million mark. So it's a real decent have a crack at the double trio for those last two races. But you're right, there's 100,000 first starters there.
There is a look at Sha Tin ahead of Sunday, A+3, all on the turf, the 10 races with the first at 12:45. Just the one race we focus on the show. It's race number 10, the Poinsettia Handicap, A Class 2 over the 1,200. The trophy race number 7, the Pokoi Cup, A Class 3 over the 1,200 metres. But before we look at the meeting on Sunday, a very special guest joins us on the show, a man who racked up 100 winners in Hong Kong on Wednesday night. It's Luke Ferraris.
Colonel, though, he's kicking, he's in fine form, he wins again, Colonel.
My wish, he's in front. You can thank Luke Ferraris for a masterful catch out of the gates. He lets him go, he doesn't run, he caught him and he wins.
It's Mojave Desert in front here for Luke Ferraris. He's going to bring up 100 wins here in Hong Kong, one of the rising stars of the jockeys room.
And great to say the 100-win man himself joins us on Racing to Win. Luke Ferraris, welcome to the show. Congratulations on the win. Did you know that milestone was getting close?
I think I'd seen it in the newspaper. I wasn't too far away, but I didn't know that was the 100th.
Did you expect it to come up so quickly? You grew up in Hong Kong, of course. You spent so much time at Sha Tin. You're now here as a jockey. To sit on 100 wins from 1,400 rides, it's come up very, very fast.
Yeah, it has. I've had a lot of great support this season so far, but like you say, to bring it up in a fairly short space of time is I'm pretty proud of that, and hopefully we can just keep on building.
When you were a kid sitting on the fence watching the races at Sha Tin, when your dad was training here, who were Luke Ferraris' idols that you were hoping to model yourself or follow in their footsteps one day?
Oh, wow. There was a lot riding at the time when I was watching. I think a name that springs to mind sort of during that era would be Douglas White. You know, the domination that he had was incredible. Obviously, there was Anthony Del Pesce who rode Dad's Champion. And then as I got older, sort of the rise of Zach Purton then came about. So there was a lot of world-class jockeys sort of in the backyard that I could watch on a Sunday and aspire to be like.
You go back home, you ride in South Africa. Did you expect to be back at 20, 21 years of age riding, or even 19 back in Hong Kong as early as you have been? It's obviously been a dream, but it come up so soon.
Yeah, well, I think you summed it up pretty well there. I didn't expect it at all. That last season in South Africa was a phenomenal season, but I still didn't really expect it to get a contract through from the club then. There was probably a lot of doubt in the back of my mind that I was probably too young and it might not have been the right time, but I suppose sort of you're never going to have the perfect time, and I wasn't going to turn down an opportunity from a place like Hong Kong, from the Jockey Club, and we're going to give it our best shot and see what happens.
This season's been a wonderful season for you. The combination you've struck up with Mark Newnham, it's been great for both of you.
Yeah, it has. Riding for him has been fantastic. I find him very easy to get along with and to ride for. It's never too overcomplicated. I enjoy sort of going forward on horses, and that's the way Mark likes his horses being ridden. So, we're getting on well, and we've had a lot of luck so far this season, so long may continue.
I want to ask you about that day, My Wish. You parted company out of the gates. Did you think he was gone, or you had a tight enough hold of the rein all of the time?
Oh, look, it happened really quick. I think it's, I don't know if it's instinct or I was too scared to let go of my best chance of the day. But yeah, it was pretty, special that he could do that and still go on to win from a wide barrier. So we were looking forward to riding him again soon.
He's been a big part of your season. It's been a great season, this one. This has been the breakout season for you. Has anything changed, or has it been the association with Mark Newnham and just riding the better horses?
I think it's just, just riding the better horses. You always hear sort of jockeys in Hong Kong go on about support and how tough it is to get. And that is sort of the toughest part I find about Hong Kong, is getting the competitive rides. And I've been fortunate enough that I have got the horses with better chances so far this season. So it's nice to have capitalised on that. And, if they can just keep coming through, then I'll be looking to capitalise again.
You've certainly got a comfortable seat to book those rides in. That looks a very good little setup you got there in that office.
Yeah, it works out pretty well.
The name Ferraris, we can't move on without talking about your dad. Is he still your biggest supporter?
He is. Yeah, he definitely is. He doesn't miss a beat. Every sort of winner, good or bad rides that I produce, he's on the buzzer pretty quick, letting me know. But yeah, he has been my biggest supporter. The family back home have been fantastic. Yeah, it's good to be doing them proud.
All right, we need to move on to Sunday now, Luke. I'm going to let these attack dogs off the leash. They're going to talk you through your rides coming up this weekend.
Luke, you've got Invincible Missile lining up for Casper Founds. It looked like he was going to loom up and win it last time out, but the inside horse kicked back. Not the easiest horse to ride. Takes a bit of galvanising by the looks of things.
Yeah, I suppose he's his own worst enemy. He gets a long way back, and then he's got to make up the ground. Like you said, his last win was good, so if he can reproduce that and get a few favours in the run, then hopefully he can be running a similar race.
He's always drawn he's drawn out wide, but getting him out of the gates is key, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You can sort of get him out the gates, but then he's sort of slowly into stride again. So, like I said, he doesn't help himself too much. But if we get on the back of a nice horse and let him pull us through, then hopefully he'll be finishing like he did last time.
You're riding a first starter in race 2 for Mark Newnham, son of done deal Mission Strike, who'd he was trained in Australia by Joe Pride prior to arriving, but his gate speed, that looks like it's been a little bit of an issue through some of his trials.
It has been. We've had a bit of, not issues in the barriers, but he hasn't been the quickest away. He tends to slouch on the side and sit down in the barrier, so he's always stepped a little bit slow, but he seems to run on well in his trials, being ridden like that, so that'll probably be the game plan again for Sunday. He is a bit sort of soft still, but he should come on a lot from the run.
Race number 3, Luke, you've got Exceed the Wish. Just had the one start, finished back, but he had an issue. You trialled him recently. We see the trial here now. He seemed to go a lot better.
Yeah, he did. He's had a little gear change, and that seems to have helped a bit. He is a horse that can get quite hot and bothered on race day and sometimes at track, but now with the gear change, it seems to have got his mind settled a bit more and more focused on the task at hand. So I think if he can sort of bring his trial form to races, then he should run a nice race.
Another one you're riding for Mark in race number 7, Alfonso. I know you haven't ridden him on race day. He's had a couple of runs, and first one in particular was pretty good. What sort of feel has he given you in track work?
He's a very strong horse in the morning. You just hang on to him because he tends to truck along. But look, he hasn't put a foot wrong in the morning with me. He's been moving well. His work's been good. So yeah, we're looking forward to Sunday.
We'll skip over times table. Luke, you haven't ridden him. He lost the rider on debut, of course. Sing Dragon has struck one heck of a race to run in the last on the program.
Yeah, look, he's as honest as the day's long, this horse. He's a lovely horse to ride. He's pretty simple. He begins really fast. He travels well. And if you can just put him in the right spot, then I don't see why he can't run another honest race.
We've got him on the screen at the moment on the all-weather. Before we let you go, you've got the 100 in Hong Kong now. Is there a goal for the season that Luke Ferraris wants to tick off before we get to meeting 88?
I wouldn't say a goal in particular. I think I'm more sort of taking it meeting by meeting, trying to get on the competitive horses and keep producing winners. Is probably the main goal. It sounds a bit like a cliche, but I think that's the only thing you can really do here. Take it day by day. Try staying on the ones you think can win, and then once you're on them, trying to capitalise on that.
Very, very fair call. Luke, thanks for joining us on Racing to Win, and may the great season that has started for you keep on going.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me.
And a massive thanks to Luke Ferraris for his time here to talk through his career so far in Hong Kong. 100 wins and many, many more to come. Speaking of more to come, we're going to take a break on Racing to Win. We'll come back and have a look at a hot race number 10 right after this. Welcome back to Racing to Win. We focus now at Sha Tin on Sunday, starting, Paul, with your last run reminder, and this one only had a couple of runs in Hong Kong and hasn't been too far away.
No, he's looked good. He seems to have really settled in nicely here, Johannes Brahms. I mean, his goal's going to be the 4-year-old series, but he's leading into it nicely. He's had the 2 runs now. He was slightly slow away, so that's a little bit of a concern there, but they didn't go... They sort of went sort of a reasonable pace early. He got quite far back, and then you could see him just starting to weave his way through the field here. Didn't get the clearest of runs, but then that gap opened about now, and he started to poke his head through. And once he sort of went through that gap, you can see him there. He finished off really strongly. So it was a good run. He'll come up a short price favourite, I think, on the weekend. But look, he's going the right way for sure.
He comes out of the race behind the Smart Mark win. So a race 9, number 3, Johannes Brahms is the last run reminder for Paul leading into this week. We're going to focus on the race after right now, race number 10. And it's a Class 2 over the 1,200 metres. Now, Zach Purton, Lyle Hewitson, Matthew Poon all return for this meeting. Vincent O hopefully back very early in the new year. Majestic Night has a £10 claim for Brittany Wong. Beauty Charge an extra £7 for his Happy Valley win last time. Gorgeous Wins raced wide at his last 3 starts. Raging Blizzard has a good record course and distance. Call Me Glorious has placed 2 from 3 in this grade. Bottomuptogether is minus the shadow roll. Wonder Kid has the blinkers off, the visor going on. Fast Network on a 7-day backup steps up from the 1,000 to the 1,200. And I Give, he's a 6-time course and distance winner with just £117 on his back, Paul. And with that lightweight, he should be able to assume his favourite role, albeit at a fast speed.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of pace this race because a lot of horses are going to want to lead. I mean, I Give the lightweight and also 1,200. I mean, he did lead over 1,000. Harmony and Bless has got so much pace. So is Glory Elite. Call Me Glorious is drawn wide. He looks like he's going to do it really tough. Majestic Knight's got the £10 claim. He's also got some speed. Wunderbar likes to go forward. Bottomuptogether likes to go forward. So there'll be no mucking around.
And we're going to focus now on Bottomuptogether. Tom's had a busy day. He was at Sha Tin this morning and tracked down Frankie Law.
Frankie, Bottomuptogether coming out of the Panasonic Cup. He obviously pulled up with a little issue, but outside of that issue, what did you think of his run?
Comeback is okay, but this season he already run 3 times and all outside draw. A little bit difficult for him. So last start 1,400 and also outside he jumped fast and maybe he's still a little bit keen. And at this moment, 14 may be not suitable for him, so that's why I just bring him back to 12.
He's had a trial with Matthew Chadwick aboard, so were you happy with his trial, and what was the feedback from Matthew?
Yeah. He tried good, and Matthew said, hey, he's more relaxed now. This time we got a better draw, So I think better for him. I always want to try to maybe make him follow some horses to see how it's going. And this time I think it should be good for him because this race is quite fast, the pace here.
So yeah, there is a fair bit of pace in the race. So you're intending to maybe just drop him in behind the speed?
Yes, I need to try because I don't want to. You always jump and go forward, and sometimes lower class is okay, but if you go to some class 2, if we can save a little bit energy, I think it should be better for him. Yeah.
He did pull up with blood in the trachea last time out. Do you have to do anything special with these horses to manage them through that issue? Especially it can be a little bit awkward as well with the cooler times of the year, can't it?
Yeah, we give some treatment for him for soft his lung, and I think now it's okay. Everything's fine. I hope he won a good race for the owners.
There he is, Frankie Law on Bottomuptogether, Paul. He's been a horse that you've been keen on at times. What about in this race?
Yeah, I really like him in this because they're going to go a bit of a speed, and one of his problems is he can over race a little bit. So with the speed in the race and from barrier number 1, he can just let it unfold in front of him. Matthew Chadwick did say to Frankie after that trial that he seemed to settle a little bit better. So I think he's going to get the perfect run in the race.
He obviously won his first 3 races here and comes out of a good form race, the Panasonic Cup last time out, and we saw the form franked out of that with Packing Hermod winning too.
We did indeed. We move on now, Tom, to Wunderbar. Now, he was beaten here by Magic Control, which in hindsight is not a bad thing because he won a trial by 9 lengths earlier in the week. Do we forget the 1,000 metres still with Wunderbar and just go on his 1,200 metre form?
I think we do. Obviously, this day round, the winner had 5 pounds on him as well, so he was carrying less weight, Magic Control, and he was right there to strike Wunderbar, and they've just had to take their time with him. He obviously had an issue. There's been limited sort of races that he's been able to go in, and this is why they had to drop back to 1,000 metres because there was no 1,200 Class 2 for him. So I think he can definitely bounce back here. Obviously, a wide draw, a little bit tricky, but he's got the class to do it.
Yeah, it's the draw that I've got him in for second, but it's the draw which worries me a lot with him because there's so much pace underneath him, and he's just going to have to work hard. But look, we know he's a class horse. The trial was good here, and he just got beaten by a better horse in the day, which was Magic Control. The 1,200 record's good. So, look, it's just the draw. It's just what sort of run is he going to get? Is
this the week they try something different and maybe have to go back with him with all that other pace in the race?
Yeah, they could do. Look, I sort of thought they might try and they should get some cover. They might just have to take their medicine and sit 3 wide with cover. There's not a bad run in those 8 starts today, Tom. 8 starts for 6 wins and a couple of placings. Speaking of not a bad run, John Size is also absolutely flying, as you can talk us through this graphic.
Yes, so the last 3 meetings he's had 19 runners for 7 winners, top 3 rate of 52.5, and then up until International Day, including International Day, it had 136 runners, Paul, for just 5 winners. So in the last week and a half, it's crept up dramatically. It was always going to happen, wasn't it? I mean, the thing with him is he always has a slow start and really builds into it. It was slightly slower this year than other years, but he's really making up for it now. And I don't think that first period was as bad as it probably sounds. He had 18 seconds in that first period leading up until International Day, including International Day. So there were a lot of horses that were there or thereabouts without getting their nose in front. That is John Size. Move on now to a race at Happy Valley recently, Paul, won by Beauty Charge. But it doesn't in there. Wonder Kit, Raging Blizzard, Sing Dragon, Gorgeous Win, Glory Elite and Harmony and Blessed all come out of this as we roll the tape from the 600 metre mark. Yeah, look, Raging Blizzard, he obviously didn't handle the dirt last time because he didn't run too well there. Look, he got quite well back. He finished off strongly enough in this. If he gets back again with all his pace in the race, which I think will probably happen, then he should get the race run to suit. So he'd be the one I'll take out of this. I see Glory Elite getting involved in a skirmish there. He obviously faded after that, but he wanted to turn sideways there. I don't think Gorgeous Win's the worst here. He's obviously £6 better off with Beauty Charge, but he also covered some ground and was a bit keen early. I don't think they've totally failed with the Happy Valley experiment, but I think he is a better horse here at Sha Tin, Gorgeous Win. As you said, Tom, and he's been racing without luck too. James McDonald jumps aboard this week. Yeah, and he does, and he had that ride aboard him last time out as well. And as I said, he covered a fair bit of ground there. Here's James's record so far with what he's done in this stint. 15 winners, whole host of second placings there as well. And you've got Charmander in the first race. Super Legends, who's drawn well. Roman Crown's a recent trial winner. Blazing Wind, I think, just got too far back last time out. And he's got Charity Gain, who he jumps on, Paul, over the 2,000 metres, who looks very tough to beat in that race.
Yeah, I think that's his best ride, actually. Devano, again, is another really good one. And Johannes Brahms, we saw him before. Gorgeous win. The only thing, I didn't put him in, and the reason being he drew 10.
OK, that is a breakdown of that race. We're going back to last weekend now, Paul, and Fast Network. Short-priced favourite here. Just gets things wrong at the start, which he has done in the past. He missed it by a length. I give at the other end will go forward, but what of these two going up in distance and backing up?
Well, the thing with Fast Network is he always shows that he runs on, he sort of gets back over 1,000 metres, he sort of sits 7th, 8th, and runs on really nicely. So the 1,200 shouldn't be a problem for him around the bend. Look, he's got if he does get back in this race from barrier 9, there is pace, so he should get the race run to suit. So being by rote, you think 1,200 is not a problem for him.
Yeah, things went against him last time out there with how he got knocked over at the start there. He loomed up and he was sort of facing the breeze on the far side to there and probably just peaked on his run late. Zach, in a couple of times, has alerted sort of viewers to a breathing issue. So 1,200 metres, I don't know whether to be concerned about that or not with him.
No, we'll find out because it is his first time at the trip. But how do you sort out 4 in this race, Paul?
Well, I think the horse is going to get the best runners, Bottomuptogether, from barrier number 1. So I can put him on top. Wunderbar from the wide draw. Raging Blizzard will get back, run on strongly with Fast Network. A lot of pace in this race. 10-2, 7-13.
Yeah, 2 on top for me. Wunderbar. Barrier 11 looks a little tricky, but Zach should be able to work it out, hopefully. Obviously, Magic Control had 5 pounds less than he did last time out. He's better suited here over the 1,200 metres, and he's had 2 good trial wins. Bottomuptogether goes in with the draw. I think he's going to sit right behind them and get a perfect run. Raging Blizzard didn't enjoy the all-weather last time out. He's a 2-time course and distance winner. Never missed top 4 course and distance Raging Blizzard. Antoine Hamlin still trying to notch up a win this season. And I'll throw in Call Me Glorious on a mine line. Barrier 13, not ideal. Alexis Pouchon riding for Francis Lloyd. 2-10, 7 and 8.
And all the races are previewed on the website, race by race analysis, hkjc.com. Click on audio and video. It's time now, however, to get towards the end of the show. Paul, we'll go to you first, and you'll be getting your backside trackside for your best bet.
Yeah, exactly. We just talked about them, and I gave the reasons why. So I think Bottomuptogether can win the last from a good draw. Should be a decent price in that race. Race 9, a horse called Casa Rochester. Now, look, he's only had the one start. This was over 1,200 metres. He's by Redwood. He steps up to 1,400 metres. Mark Newnham's stable, as we know, absolutely flying at the moment. And look, the best part of his run was this last 200 metres. He's still well off the pace here. And look at him really finishing off nicely there. The 14 looks ideal. So I think he can upset the favourite in race number 9. He should be a decent price. And the play, QQP, Young Superstar, Alfonso, and Aurora Patch, the first starter in race number 7.
Best bet Charity Gain in the 6th race. Horse number 1, David Eustace, James McDonald, 3 wide the whole race in Happy Valley last time out. Spirit of Peace is on debut for John Size. Alexis Pouchon, he's drawn 9. He's race 3, number 10. And the play in the last, Wunderbar, Raging Blizzard, the John Size pair with Bottomuptogether.
Best bet, race 1 will go early. Casa Legend coming back in trip. Trial was excellent since his last run. Matthew Poon in good form. The play, race 8, number 6, Thunder Prince, held up a touch in the straight last time. Wide draw, but Brenton Abdallah is going well. And the play, race 8, a QQP 1, 6 and 13 in race number 8. Time to pull up the diary. Now, if you're sick of the family come Christmas, sick of the neighbours, you just want to get away from them, Tom, have we got the perfect Boxing Day alibi for you?
We've got 10 races. We've never had 10 races at night at Happy Valley. So, Paul, the racing department are out to excel themselves.
History being made, definitely. So you can, you've had all the turkey on Christmas Day, and you're there to enjoy it.
Thanks for joining us on Racing to Win. On behalf of the boys and all of the team here at Racing to Win, enjoy Sha Tin, and after Sha Tin, have a very Merry Christmas.